Walk up, 10-minute timer starting now. Hi, my name is Andrew. It's so great to meet you. May I ask for your name? Then give me my name. Give me their name. All right, this is so amazing. Thank you for meeting me today. I really appreciate you coming into my office so we can talk about it. As you know, I am an employee for the HRM department, Human Resource Management department here at Big City Transit. Welcome to this company. I can't wait to be co-workers with you. Very excited to work with you to make sure that all of our employees, all of our customers have amazing transit and are able to excel in their life because they can go to the places they need to go. So with introductions out of the way, I heard you had a question, and it's a very valid question. Your question was, why is it important for employee information to be kept confidential? And that's a really great question, and I wondered about it for a while. So I talked to one of my coworkers, and they gave me the same spiel, which I'm going to talk to you right now. But additionally, I want to give you some actionable steps that this company can take so that we can propose it to management and perhaps make our company even better in respecting our employees. So let's get right into it. First of all, why do we have to respect our employees' confidentiality, our employees' privacy, right? Well, as you know, in big cities, there are a lot of people from very, very diverse backgrounds, and some of their information, personal lives, etc., are hard. They're dealing with it, right? So it's not our business to get involved. It's very important that we have a job to do. We are the HR department. We don't have to meddle in personal lives. We make sure that employee performance is good and we can help them get through certain work tasks, etc., unless the personal life is really affecting their work. So to understand why we need to respect employee privacy, let's first talk about the nature of ethics, because I think that's very important to understand when we are talking about this situation. So what is ethics? Ethics is basically the moral, social kind of way that you are supposed to present yourself, the way you're supposed to behave, that is considered right. Obviously, all of us have an internal moral compass, and that's your ethics. It's very important to understand this because when we're talking about privacy, it's something that's very personal to all of us, and it's really important that we respect each other, the way that we want to be treated. For example, if someone has a problem with drugs and suddenly their monthly drug test came positive, that's none of our business. We shouldn't allow that to form any negative connotations with that person. We should just focus on our work and focus on growing our company and ourselves in our professional development. So it's very, very important to understand what ethics are as we move on to talking about privacy. But actually, I want to share something with you. According to this graph, which is a graph that I was able to make using AI and a bunch of different analytics that I gained from this company, I was able to see that employee productivity can increase by over 100% if we have an ethics on job workshop, which is basically a workshop that teaches employees about how to be ethical and why it's important to be ethical. And we've seen that through our calculations that we can really have a lot of promise for this company. That's why it's really, really important that we understand what ethics is. So now I'll talk about it. How can we be ethical individuals once we understand what ethics is? And to do that, we need to understand how to respect the privacy of others. There's a lot of different ways that you can respect the privacy of others. For example, you can be empathetic, understanding their situation and understanding that it may not be any of an employee's business because it's a personal life. Remember, all we care about is the performance of our company and ourselves and our peers. So it's really, really important to, if someone is struggling with something, just let them work it out. You don't need to be there and perhaps make things worse. So once we have empathy, we can also be caring at the same time. We can help them without being too personal, just being kind, being there for them if they need someone to talk to. Focused on job. If you're focused on the job, you aren't focused about personal information that perhaps does not need to be talked about in the workplace, which is also staying in your lane. And as I talked about, if we can implement this into our workshops and we, as the HR department, help to facilitate positive employee understanding of how to be respectful of people's privacy, as you can see from this graph that I've already talked about, employee productivity will increase because employee satisfaction will increase when people aren't constantly talking about personal lives. I hope everything makes sense for you so far, Judge. So I want to take it a step further. We've already talked about why it's important to respect the privacy of others, but how can we actually form that into action? How can we maintain the confidentiality of others? I've already talked about some ways. Employee development workshops are a great way so that employees understand what is asked of them in terms of employee personal lives staying personal. Additionally, we can have more secure networks so that if our first line of action doesn't work, which is prevention of gossip, workplace gossip and stuff like that, we can have more secure networks that ensure that, for example, computer systems, they have two-step verification to ensure that the person who is receiving the information is the one who actually needs to receive the information. We can also reinforce our development workshops with employee handbook guides, which tells them what they should and shouldn't be doing. For example, as you know, we have a monthly drug test, so it's extremely important that we keep that information confidential between the HR department and the employees. This is also known as information management, knowledge management. It's very important to have that in a successful company. So employee handbook guides telling them what to do and not do in terms of confidentiality to make sure that people are keeping each other's personal information protected. And finally, let's talk about the good that can come from respecting others. And this is treating others with dignity and respect, which ties into privacy. Obviously, what is dignity? Dignity is protecting one's self-worth, and respect is protecting another's self-worth. So how can we protect our employees from feeling shame, perhaps for doing drugs, or feeling bad about their personal life? We can treat them with respect. Obviously, privacy is extremely important, which I've already talked about. And once we implement these workshops, these more secure handling of information, and we also have employee handbooks to reinforce this good nature and goodwill, we can reap the benefits, obviously, because we have done more calculations with AI and CRMs, and we've seen that employee satisfaction rates will increase by over 50%. This has numerous benefits. First of all, employee retention rate will increase, meaning more employees will stay with us. Employee satisfaction will lead to more productivity, and that will lead to better customer service for customers who are on our subscription-based platform that will allow them to take the public transport. Great, more public transport, more customers. It's just a lot of good things that can come from this. That will lead to more money and happiness overall. So, Judge, I hope this was really able to help you understand why it's so important to maintain the confidentiality of others. I'm really excited to work with you in the future, and I really hope that this conversation with me was able to help you understand why it's so important to respect the privacy of others and how we can take actionable steps in our company to making sure that our company is able to succeed free of any personal obligations, personal griefs that will perhaps hinder company progress, allowing for happier customers and an overall more powerful and impactful company in the long run. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, that was my role play. Not great. Actually, it was okay. You know what? I haven't done a role play in a couple of months. So I will leave it at that. But that's basically what you want to do. You want to have a strong introduction. You want to have your 4 PIs, a strong conclusion, and obviously I left about a minute for judge questions. That's not good. All right, you should at least leave 1.5 to 2 minutes for questions for your judge, because as seen from the scoreboard sheet, this is where your 24th century skills come in. Did you reason effectively when you were answering the judge's questions? Did you make judgments clearly when you were answering the judge's questions? Stuff like that is very important. You gotta leave time for the judge to talk to you to get those points. So, I really, really hope that this video was of use to you, because as a first year, let me tell you, the competition is a lot, but it is extremely rewarding, because from a personal experience, like, I learned how to communicate better, and also improve my business knowledge. So I think that honestly, the best way to get good at this is, well, obviously you took the first step by coming to my YouTube channel, clicking on this video, and learning how to give a proper role play. But it's always important to practice. So practice. You can practice with the same prompt. I'll link it in the description. There's also many resources online. Maybe your chapter has some, maybe DECA Plus if you have it. There's so many resources. Find those resources, do those role plays, practice your speaking skills, practice your business knowledge, and I really, really hope you succeed in competition. Drop a comment, like, subscribe, like the video, whatever you want to do. I really hope that this video was able to help you, because I had some amazing mentors for DECA, and I want the same thing to be said for you. So if that's it, I'm probably gonna end the video here. But yeah, remember, if I have to leave you with one thing, two things actually, here are the lesson summaries. First of all, be creative. If you're not creative, your judge will just think you're any other participant. And then how are you going to stand out? How are you going to get glass if you are no different from the rest of your people who are you competing with? Right? So be creative, go above and beyond. Second, be confident. If you're not confident, your judge won't be confident in you, and they won't be confident to give you the win. So be confident when you're speaking. Make sure that your judge feels empowered by their conversation with you. So once you're confident, then you can really deliver a powerful presentation that will stick with them all the way to the grading sheet when they give you a great grade. If you have any other questions, I'll link my email in the description. You can talk to me. And I don't know, I'm thinking of doing a tutoring service that will allow you guys to have one-on-ones with me, so we can really give deep dives into your individual role play, where I listen to your role play and then I give you solid feedback to help you improve. So let me know if you're interested in that. I'm gonna keep making YouTube videos because I want you guys to succeed sincerely, because DECA has given me so much. I want to give back to you.